Grundy up top. Sophomore probing. Finds a man in the corner. It's St. Hilaire who drills a three. And he had his pocket pick. Williams just too quick. Goes around him to the hole. Right hand scooper is good. Zigriello on the baseline. Draws attention. Frees up Brewer. High arcing three. Up and in. Bounce pass ahead. St. Hilaire has a left checked it. Again a chance for the lead. Back door to Lacey. Score it. His pass picked off. Brander, cat quick. The freshman to the tin with a nice finish. Another bank attempt. Gradinskis stays with it. Three-pointer now by Galamaga. Three-pointer block. Santa Suoso comes down with it, sends it up the floor, and then Sullivan throws it down. Fawcett steps into a long two, up and in. O'Connell, guarded by Zimmerman, deep on the far wing, steps into a long two and drills it. Trying to shake off Morelli into the lane. Back door from Pafford. There's the layup. 4 seconds. Timeout. Winnacunnet. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Durham. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you, getting set for the 2021 NHIAA Boys Basketball Division I Championship game between the Winnacunnet Warriors and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Two very good teams, senior heavy. They match up well. They've got a lot of length. They've had a lengthy road to get here. They're battle tested, and they're ready to lay it all out on the floor over the next, hour and a half or so. Here from Durham. Oyster River High School, the host this year. It's not the University of New Hampshire. There is a limited crowd, of course, due to the COVID-19 situation. We will preview this game. We'll speak with BG assistant coach Chris Cameron in just a moment, but let's welcome in Steve Beals here. Steve, you've been watching both these teams quite often this season. Not a big surprise that they meet here in the championship game because of how well they do match up.
No, it's been a great series, though. I think Winnacunnet faced a heck of an opponent the other night against Trinity. I think they're battle ready. The game against Londonderry, VG took care of things pretty well in that game. Can't believe with Coach Fisher and Cameron and the rest of the crew, they're not going to be battle ready either. This game's going to be really interesting when you looked at Winnacunnet. Nick, you commented on it earlier in our discussion. They are tall and wide up front. That's going to be a factor. I see two keys to this game that I'm looking for 4 players to stand out that I think have to have solid games in order to prevail in the last seconds of the game, Nick. And Brett Morelli, clearly a leader up front in that team, and right behind him, I mean, he makes a great rebounder. He makes a great turn on his shot when they feed him underneath. Looks really solid. His long extended arms seem to be able to get to the boards very, very easily. He's a terrific player to watch today. Going to have a good game. Also on James O'Hara. I've talked about him the first time we saw him play Exeter. What a key quarterback factor he is. Dribbling the ball down. He makes excellent decisions. He feeds. He seems to anticipate things ahead really well. Follows the playbook by the coaches. He is a mission-oriented player. And, boy, when he sees a lane, does he drive it like nobody else.
Yeah.
Other than Williams, he's got to be the top 3 or 4. On the BG side, Lucas Baker's got to have a big game. He's going to be facing a very good center in Morelli up front. 3 tall guys. He's got to use that physicality he's got to be able to control the boards and to be able to do on the other end what Morelli does offensively when they can feed him inside. And then, of course, how about Santa Suazo, Dylan? He is a Dylan Santa Suazo. He is unreal. He was on fire with those 3 points, got 19 points in the quarter. And then when they started playing defense, what did he do? Like a quarterback does, he fed somebody else, and he was very unselfish, thought he played a great game. So those are keys I see. Look forward to hearing you talk to Chris Cameron here, because I'm sure we'll get some more keys for the BG side.
Yeah, BG in control from start to finish in the semifinal win over Londonderry back on Wednesday night. No problem in a double-digit victory. A 14-win regular season. They got in all 18 games, I think, which was key as well. Just how key? Let's ask a part of the coaching staff. Chris Cameron, first of all, congratulations on being here. Your team you said off air beforehand, didn't have a whole lot of tournament experience coming in, but boy, they certainly do now with 4 wins under your belt.
Yeah, last year we had a great year. We were one of the top 4 teams, got upset by Salem in the first round. And I think that, my message to these guys was championships aren't won in March. They're won starting in April. And these kids have worked hard all year to get to this point. And this was a goal that they set. Last year was kind of like they didn't know what to expect. They were the 18th pick coming into the season. This year they were a top pick. And it was a season of ups and downs. When you get expectations that high, sometimes you read your own press clippings. And I think we believed that we were really good. But we started to get a mentality of we got to work hard.
Right.
And that's been who we are at this point right now. We're a grinding team that grinds it out on defense.
Speaking of defense, Winnacunnet employed that 2-3 zone pretty well in that win in the semifinals over Trinity. It seems like your team has seen a lot of zone this year and has handled it well. Was that a focal point over the last couple of days in practice?
Yes. I mean, for us, we're straight man-to-man. We haven't shown anything else all year, but Winnacunnet, they'll be in it. There'll be some man, and there'll going to be some zone, and they're long, so they play that zone very well. It's not like a zone where they just sit back and it's an aggressive type zone. So
yeah.
we have some shooters. We have some size. We have some so we can handle zones. So it's not like we haven't seen the zone all year. So we're prepared for it. But it comes down to it forces you to knock down shots, and that's what we've been inconsistent with this year. But during our playoff run, we've been shooting the ball really, really well.
Yeah, you have. Is that one of the big keys today, just taking good shots and capitalizing on opportunities on offense? What will it come down to in your mind?
For us is that we've held all 4 opponents so far 44 points and below. So we got to play defense. That's kind of sets the tone for us because we got a lot of runouts. We thought coming into this year we wanted to be a team playing in the 70s, but after a while we were in the 50s, and eventually you are who you are. So we're a team that we really don't get up to the 60s very much. We'd like to be in the 60s. So the faster the game, the better for us. But we have to. Winnacunnet has a tendency to turn the ball over. So we're going to get up and press when we can. And try to turn them over a little bit and try to speed them up a little bit. That's going to be the key is playing all year. We've had letdowns where we don't play 32 minutes, and basketball's a game of runs. It's who makes the most runs and who can stop the other team. That's going to be big. Is Coach Fisher's got to control those runs as much as the team does. It's how do we make more runs than them?
Good luck, Coach. Thanks again for joining us.
Okay, well.
That's again Chris Cameron, assistant coach on the sideline today for Bishop Guertin. Of course, he's the head man on the sideline in the spring for the perennial Division I champion Bishop Guertin Cardinals. All right, let's welcome back in Steve there. Defense seems to be the game plan going in here and controlling tempo from the Cardinals' point of view.
I think that's a large part of why both of these teams are here today, Nick, because of defense. When you watch the quality of the coaching and how they follow the basic rules of defense, I'm very, very impressed. They get back very quickly, both teams. They're in position all the time. They know when they have to come out and stoke the three. They know when they got to play inside. I agree. Is that what Coach Cameron said? I couldn't really hear him.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. Defense wins championships in almost any sport.
Well, Winnacunnet, as we talked about, had to fight their way through perhaps the toughest bracket, so to speak, Region 1 in this 2021 NHIAA Division I tournament. They dethroned Exeter in the preliminary round, an overtime victory over the Blue Hawks, just the first loss for Exeter all season long, and then had to beat last year's co-champion along with Exeter, Portsmouth in the quarterfinals. Check. And then the third check mark came Wednesday night over a tough Royce Williams and a tough Trinity Pioneer team by double digits in the semifinals.
I thought Trinity performed incredible against just at the end of the game, just a better team. Too much height at the end of the game. One of the things about Winnacunnet is you look at the extra game, Portsmouth, they finish strong. Sometimes they know how to come from behind. If BG's ahead by 7-9 points at the end of the third quarter, you just can't count Winnacunnet out because they've done it against the brass of the league and come back.
Right, that's a good point. Both teams have, we mentioned, a lot of seniors both ways, which I think can make a difference in big spots like
Without
this,
a doubt.
especially in a tight championship game. Lucas Baker, the 6'5" center, you mentioned him. He's one of those seniors, as is Nathan Kane, who last year as a junior was a part of the Nashua North Titans. He transferred prior to this season and has made a difference on the wing. And you mentioned as well Dylan Sanasuazo, the senior, is the quarterback for the football team as well, and oftentimes can quarterback the offense. 19 points in the first half, as we mentioned, in that win over Londonderry. Very explosive as well.
And I think that was 6 threes and a foul shot, I think. It was almost all threes. He just was on fire from outside the circle, Nick. And I thought they made some nice plays where they would cut him over to the corner, and he would release to get picked off, give him a little bit extra time and a little bit of room. Boy, he's got a great hand. Yeah, great shot.
If he's allowed time to get square, it could be a long night for Winnacunnet.
I would imagine they'll try that today. They're going to see. But it wouldn't surprise me if they defend him a little harder today.
And then, of course, the defensive differences, I suppose. BG will be almost exclusively man-to-man. They'll look to press, apparently, tonight, according to Coach Cameron. Whereas Winnacunnet, kind of a wild card. We saw a lot of 2-3 zone in that semifinal win over Trinity, but they're known to get out man-to-man as well. Both teams pretty good on defense, all 94 feet.
Yeah, pretty good and coached very well. One of the things I noticed against on Wednesday was that all 3 of their defense in front, they get down the other center court, they're measured, they know where the lane, what they're, the coverage as far as defensively lanes. Yep. They were in position, in the right spot every time, and that made it difficult for Londonderry to get any kind of lanes to the net. By the end of the third quarter, Londonderry was shooting a lot of probably not so great decision shots from outside, and you could tell it was over by the fourth quarter.
Well, both teams seeking a championship for the first time in a while. We'll start with Bishop Guertin. They did bring home the brass a decade ago, back in 2011, under head coach Jim Mignault. Cardinals went back to the championship game under Coach Mignault 2 years later, but fell short and have not been in this spot since. For Winnacunnet, their last title came in 1992. Since then, a string of 5 runner-ups, the most recent coming in 2010. So it's been quite a while. If Coach McKenna can deliver the 3rd state championship in Winnacunnet school history, it would certainly go a long way.
No doubt, Nick. And what's going to help them now is they played some really solid basketball teams towards the very end of the year. They got the business done, and especially, like I said, in the second half, they really gelled together. They played well. This is a great matchup, Nick. I don't know what you figure, but I figure this will be under 7 to 8 points by the end. What do you think?
I thought both of these 2 teams throughout the year were on the short list.
So did I.
Of legitimate contenders, so it is not a surprise to me personally that they find themselves as the last 2 standing here on Championship Saturday. Yeah. Reminder, on NFHS tomorrow, we will have coverage of the Division I Girls Basketball Championship from Sanborn High School. And, of course, if you want to catch the archive on our Friday Night Lights channel, FNL NH Media, that game will be up, not live, of course, but later on. So subscribe, if you have not, to FNL NH Media on YouTube, and we'll have that one out there as quick as we possibly can.
Yeah, well,
both teams set for the introduction of the starting lineups. Again, no seeds this season. The allotments were broken down to 4 regions in the Division I tournament, and the 5 or 6 teams per region was based on a luck of the draw. So, both of these teams have had to fight their way. BG specifically had to play a first-round game in which they were able to handle Nashua South. That's an extra game in the mix for the Cardinal group. They will be, as a result tonight, designated the visitors. So they're in their road green and gold and are being introduced here. The starters are. That's Jordan Robichaud, one of the many seniors, as I mentioned. 6'1" guard, good 2-way player. He'll be joined in the backcourt by his classmate, the 6'3" senior, John Sullivan. one of their better all-around athletes, frankly, who will play a lot of minutes tonight. There's Nathan Kane, dangerous from outside. A lot of varsity experience coming in, transfer from Nashua North. He's listed at 6'2". And there's Dylan Sanasuazo, the high man from the semifinal victory over Londonderry. Slapped in the face there playfully by his teammates.
Didn't look like he minded too much.
No. And then rounding it out, the big man inside, yet another senior, 6'5", broad-shouldered Lucas Baker, who expects to man the paint tonight. On the Winnacunnet side, again, they are led by longtime head coach Jay McKenna. First championship appearance since 2010 for the Warriors. They have 8 seniors as well. Many of them in the starting lineup, including Elin Houston, the 6'3" wingman. Do a little bit of everything, very active on the glass, very energetic. And there's the floor general. Steve likes him. James O'Hara, 5'11".
Been one of my favorites to watch all year, Nick.
Yep. Starting point guard last year. And has played a lot of minutes for Coach McKenna. There's Brett Morelli, 6'5", stretch forward, but can bang inside as well. He's been one of their more consistent scorers and better free throw shooters this season. Lucas Shockey, 6'3" senior, a three-point threat. And finally, in the middle, the high man from the win over Trinity back on Wednesday, center Sam Andriatola, the 6'5" junior, ended up with 21 points in the win over the Pioneers. Right back to Durham for the first half in a moment. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Are you on the fence about selling your home? Well, now is the time to take advantage of today's sky-high demand, low supply, and fierce buyer competition. The market is crazy right now, and bidding wars can be strenuous. Don't go at it alone. Let Lori D. Warner of Home Sweet Home, a RE/MAX company, guide you through the process. You need a trusted, licensed real estate professional in your corner. Let Lori D. fight for you. Call 603-664-9090 or email Lori, that's Lori, at djlorid.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. Well, you said it, Steve. A great rendition of the national anthem here at Oyster River High School, and we are set for the 2021 NHIAA Boys Basketball Division I Championship game. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS. The Cardinals will be given first crack here, limited attendance, but it is a loud and feisty crowd here, segregated by school allegiance, as is customary.
You can feel the electricity, Nick.
Underway. Jump ball, of course, has been done away with. Players, unfortunately, have to play with masks on, as they have all season. Warriors open up, and it looks like a man-to-man here. Played a lot of zone, as we mentioned, in that victory over Trinity, but they can do both, and they open up on the man side of things here. Trying to force it inside. Sullivan in and out, no, and the rebound eventually ends up with Morelli. Warriors get the stop they were looking for and now have their first crack on offense. BG, as expected, opening up in a man-to-man. O'Hara drive and kick. Shockey ready in the corner. Three-pointer around the horn and out, then a foul on Houston. Went over the back, knocking Robichaud to the ground. First foul either way. It comes with about a minute gone.
Nice job by Robichaud establishing position there under the boards, Nick.
Good box out, able to keep the elastic Elin Houston, who's known for that offensive rebound knack. Kept him off the glass. Meanwhile, a block in the corner. It's Morelli. And he's able to come away with the basketball. There's those long arms you were talking about.
We didn't see that the other night with Londonderry, Nick. They're coming out for the three. They're going to try to cut it down early.
Pass inside, denied by Robichaud. Got his left hand on it. Trying to find O'Hara. No score here, just over a minute gone by. Both teams still in a man-to-man. Warriors, extra pass. Andriatola, he's the big man, and he can hit the three ball. Puts the Warriors on the board first, 3-0. 21 points in that semifinal win over Trinity. Sam Andriatola hit a couple of threes in that win over the Pioneers. BG trying to figure out this man-to-man D. Warriors switching along the perimeter. No shot clock, of course, in the NHIAA. Each team allowed to take as much time as they choose. Warrior bench on their feet, clapping their hands, fired up. Looks like maybe a matchup zone here. Not quite sure what to make of it. Neither is BG. Kane, baseline drive. Sullivan trying to find a crease. Houston's all over him. Cardinals, though, showing patience. Winnacunnet hearing the support from the parents. Off to my right, decked out in blue and red. Lengthy possession here for BG. Sanasuazo trying to muscle. His pass up top picked off. Excellent defensive possession by Winnacunnet. Houston in transition, ran out of room. The long arm Sullivan able to block the shot, track down the loose ball. Cardinals quickly up the floor, and Kane draws a foul.
Boy, Houston's on his game today, Nick, defensively. That's not an easy task to guard outside those great athletes, and he's doing a great job at it. These guys are fired up.
Yeah, it looked like a matchup zone, a loose man-to-man, whatever you want to call it, but ironclad is the result, at least through 3 minutes. BG off the board. Kane trying to change that, looking for the tie. Three won't go down. Body's on the ground, and the foul is going to be called. Houston comes away with the basketball.
He's on fire, Nick.
And the foul is going to go against Baker, the first against Bishop Guertin.
Which Bishop Guertin doesn't want. Do not want Baker to get into foul trouble. Good effort by Baker, just over the back.
Yep.
Houston had the position.
One team foul each way, 3 minutes in. A 3-0 Winnacunnet lead. BG going to drop back here. Coach Fisher. In his custom suit and tie over there, animatedly waving his arms, trying to direct the defense. Meanwhile, Morelli, slicing move, jammed up near the iron. And this one out of bounds. It'll stay with Winnacunnet.
Gave it to him. Yep.
Good challenge there along the back line by a couple of Cardinals near the rim. Shockey tiptoeing up and under. They're going to say nope, travel.
Looks like that right foot slid on the floor, Nick.
Winnacunnet's first turnover. Low-scoring start here in Durham. Just 3-0 Warriors. Little zone press for the first time from Winnacunnet. Seen this all year. BG able to handle it. Sanasuazo high-arcing three, can't get the touch. Weak side offensive rebound ripped away by Kane. They go inside to Baker on the second try. Baker flicking it to Robichaud. Looks for Sanasuazo. No, Sullivan in the corner. A baseline drive. Sullivan right hand.
Whoa.
Teardrop gets it over Shockey. A patient possession ends up in two for John Sullivan, the 6'3 senior.
Nice job.
BG's within one at the midway point here, first quarter. Now it's the BG parent section. Trying to make noise and encourage the Cardinals on defense. Inside it goes Morelli. Right hand, can't get it after spinning left, and this one out of bounds. Houston tried to keep it alive. It'll go back to BG.
Good job by Winnacunnet, though, Nick. That three wasn't there. They fed it inside. They got a 1-on-1 matchup with Morelli. Unfortunately for Winnacunnet, didn't go, but it was a nice design play.
Yeah, about as deep a position as you can get there.
Had him one-on-one. Give it to him, right?
And a good spin, but the rim would not cooperate. Stays a 1-point game. BG looking for their first lead. Backdoor.
Nice.
Kane left-hand finish. Beautiful feed by Robichaud.
Sure was.
So the Cardinals have scored now on back-to-back trips after being shut out for the first 4 minutes. Meanwhile, O'Hara down the lane, no but a foul. And he lands hard under the basket.
He took a hit.
Still down, O'Hara.
I heard it. Was that his head that hit the...
I hope not, but it was loud.
Yeah, he's not getting up. And when a tough man like that doesn't get up.
Yeah, he's accustomed to being knocked down. He's been used to picking himself up off the floor, but that one took an extra moment there. No trainer's attention, though. And O'Hara just going to try and hang in there and shake it off here at the free throw line. Hoping to put Winnacunnet back out in front here with 3:18 to go first quarter. Right-handed senior, no problem.
Takes a fall like that and hits it all net.
No problem.
Love this kid.
Two for two. And the floor general. He's got the Warriors back in front 5-4. All right, O'Hara now will meet Robichaud at midcourt. King going to catch it deep. Warriors extending the man-to-man beyond the three-point line. Sanasuazo puts the shoulder down, runs into Morelli, and a foul is called against Morelli.
Yep. So it's 1-on-1.
It was one-on-one, and
with the two big guys.
Morelli tried to get over and get position, but ended up colliding with Sanasuazo. It's his first. 3 team fouls now against Winnacunnet. First substitute either way as Coach McKenna goes to the bench. Lucas Shockey checks out. And the senior guard, William Burns, has come on.
He's did a great job this year coming in.
Defensive oriented. Got a matchup here with John Sullivan. They go inside to Sullivan. Outside, it's Kane. The three is up and in. The former Nashua North Titan leaving the extension up for the crowd to see. BG with a 7-5 lead.
I don't know about you, Nick, but this is what I expected.
Yep. Both teams now getting their feet wet, so to speak, on offense. Meanwhile, O'Hara ran into a crowd, ball out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. The 6'6" sophomore, Javari Ellison, has come on
BG,
for BG.
BG, very emotional team. They're trying to take the momentum back, Nick.
Trying to press the issue here defensively. They've held Winnacunnet to just one field goal through now 5.5 minutes. Burns leaves it for Joe Allen, the 6'3" junior, who just checked in. Meanwhile, we have a foul on Robichaud, a little too aggressive there. Got a piece of the wrist. Despite the fact that the 6'3" Allen held the ball over his head.
So good having 3 refs in a game like this, Nick.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep, crew chief down there is B.J. Neverett, long-time official. This game is in good hands.
Yep.
For sure. Meanwhile, this one tipped out of bounds. Again, it'll stay at this end, but a good effort.
They really haven't. This whole year, Nick, officiating's been fantastic. They don't interject themselves in the game.
It really has been good.
They just call the game as they see it, you know?
Yeah, there's been no controversial calls, which is obviously a good thing. Winnacunnet coming out a little slow here. Morelli trying to force the issue, and it's sent back by Sullivan. Now he's double-teamed in the corner. Finds Allen, and Allen is called for the offensive foul. Sanasuazo took the charge, jumped right back up. His mask knocked aside. He lets out a scream there. The senior making a good defensive play. BG, again, holding Winnacunnet to just one field goal, a three-pointer earlier from Sam Andriatola. But
yeah, key for Sanasuazo's is stay pumped up, Nick, but keep your composure at the same time, and he can be really effective.
Yep. Inside of 2 minutes. Sanasuazo, who is explosive. He had 19 in the first half in the win over Londonderry. Meanwhile, another BG turnover, their third of this first quarter. Morelli behind the back, lost his footing. Taken away by Robichaud. Kane ready on the wing. Drive and kick. Sanasuazo now pedaling into the paint. Little teardrop, no. Tip kept alive. Kane's banker won't go. Houston finally clears the rebound for Winnacunnet, and a foul is going to be called. Meanwhile, it looked like Warrior big man Joe Allen took a shot upstairs.
Houston's had some great training in basketball at some point, Nick, with how to manage the boards. I watched him all year long. He's establishing position. As soon as that shot releases, he's ahead of everybody else establishing position of the boards. Crowds out, uses that strong body, gets the height that he needs.
Right.
He plays 3 or 4 inches taller than he is.
And not only is he long and athletic, listed at 6'1", but as you mentioned, has a knack for the timing.
He just does.
Which really gives you an advantage on the glass.
Yeah, it's been big so far in this game. 3 rebounds.
Warriors have brought on Josh Shockey, the sophomore, the younger brother of Lucas, for the first time. On the floor with Allen, Houston, Burns, and O'Hara. Coming up on 1 minute to go, first quarter. Warriors trying to figure out this suffocating BG man-to-man. Burns into the lane. Can't get it to go off the back iron, and it's Robichaud who wrestles the rebound. Another Cardinals stop. Coach McKenna pacing up and down the Winnacunnet sidelines. Trying to inspire the defense now with his team down 2. Three-pointer Ellison. Line drive miss. Offensive rebound. Pulled in by Stack. Ryan Stack, who just came on. Meanwhile, Kane wild in the lane. And it's Allen who wrestles the rebound away by swinging the elbows there in the paint for Winnacunnet.
You better not be thinking about playing the boards today, Nick, unless you are going to get physical.
Yep.
Or you're going to wind up in the ground.
Meanwhile, it's a big call. It's number 2 against Elin Houston. Tried to create separation with that left forearm and is called for the offensive foul. So the senior likely going to be taken out of the game here by Coach McKenna after picking up his second foul. It comes with 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Houston and Morelli out of the game for the final 20 seconds here. Last shot of the quarter should belong to the Cardinals. They lead 7-5. Sullivan, challenged by Burns here on the wing, puts it on the deck. Down to 10 seconds. Ball reversed. This is Matt Sanasuazo. Sophomore into the lane, a shot blocked. Tip back out. Winnacunnet's got it. O'Hara into the front court. 3 seconds. Left side for Shockey. Banker is short. And that will do it. A defensive-oriented first quarter here in the championship. BG, it took them a minute to get going. They've got a 7-5 lead after 1. Right back to Durham in a moment. You're watching championship coverage here on the NFHS in conjunction with us at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Start of the second quarter. Winnacunnet, they've got the basketball. They've had their problems on offense to start the game. High school in Durham. Another Warrior turnover. 5 so far to begin the contest. Just 1 field goal back in that first quarter. Meanwhile, subs for BG. Robichaud off. So we'll reset the lineups. BG in green with Ellison, the Sanasuazo brothers, Sullivan, and Kane. Three-pointer, Dylan Sanasuazo. He's been the alpha dog in a lot of ways for BG this season. He's got his first bucket of the night.
First time in 8.5 minutes they left him alone at the line and he scores.
Yep.
So they better fix that quick. Well, this thing, you could do 19 again.
Had 19 in the first half in the semifinal win over Londonderry. Meanwhile, foul inside goes against Matt Sanasuazo, his younger brother, the younger brother of Dylan, the 5th Cardinal team foul in the first against Santa Suazo the younger. 5 each way here. There's about a minute gone in this second quarter. BG, they're on a 10-2 run. They've got a 10-5 lead. Andrea Tola receiving some defensive attention there, a triple team. Now Lucas Shockey trying to step around Ellison, and he draws the foul.
Nice drive.
Now the BG bench felt like he dragged the pivot foot there. Coach Fisher not happy.
Yeah, I think he hit the body, Nick, though, before he did.
The second, now on Ellison.
Yep.
Who's played well this season off the bench for the Cardinals.
Got to hit these free throws. If you Winnacunnet, Nick, you're going to...
Yep. Free throw shooting has been big for them all season. Meanwhile, Ryan Stack returns. Ellison out with the 2 fouls.
Baker and Morelli both sitting for what now? 5 minutes almost?
Baker at 6'5", Morelli at 6'3". An eagerly anticipated matchup, but they're both on the sideline for the moment. Minute gone, second quarter. Took PG 4 minutes to score. Scored 10 cents and outscored the Warriors 10-2. Santa Suazo tiptoeing on the baseline. Ooh. Pass intercepted. Shockey. Good bounce pass up the floor. Burns does the rest. Well, that's one way to break a drought. Get out and run. Burns his first 2 off the bench. Third Cardinal turnover, and it's a 1-possession difference at 10-7.
It's a heck of a bounce pass, Nick.
Kane. Late whistle and a foul call.
Wow. Looked to me like he had stationary position, Nick. I don't know. Maybe he moved his hips. Ref was right there underneath it, so.
Well, Kane, who has been the high man so far with 5 points, found a way to draw the whistle.
Yeah.
As good scorers do. And is at the line again for the first time. Rattles that one.
He's getting hot.
And while Morelli does return for Winnacunnet, Coach McKenna doesn't leave him sitting for long. He replaces Burns. So a bigger unit on the floor now in white for Winnacunnet. Morelli, Allen, Andriatola, all 6'3" plus. And then Shockey and O'Hara in the backcourt.
Nathan Kane's racking up a few here.
Yep, he's up to 7. Leads all scorers after going 2 for 2 there. 12-7, BG. Up 5. It's their largest lead so far in this first half. Smothering man-to-man. It's been the ingredients all season long for Coach Fisher. And this one poked away inside. It'll stay with Winnacunnet.
Very physical. Both ends.
The Warriors just 2 field goals.
Yeah.
And 7 points. Try to work it inside. Good post defense. Sullivan able to step in and intercept that lob pass. Meanwhile, short attempt on the baseline by Santa Suazo. Rebound tipped in the paint, controlled by Shockey. Good stop by the Warriors. Andriatola, head down, leaning into the shot, gets it to go.
Yeah, Winnacunnet needed that, Nick.
Tough one over the 6'5" Baker, who just returned for BG. Andriatola with 5 to lead the Warriors. They're back within 3. Still trailing 12-9. Drive and kick. Kane ready. 3-pointer in and out. And a big muscle rebound there for Allen on the weak side for the Warriors. Get the stop they wanted. Now a chance perhaps to tie with a 3. Morelli spins. Banker, no. They're letting him play underneath. Allen, second try, able to get it off the glass.
Allen is dialed in, Nick. Last 3 or 4 minutes, he's really been dialed in.
Yeah, he's been kind of the unofficial 6-man for Winnacunnet this season. One of the few underclassmen to get playing time. Warriors got the momentum. They're within 1. BG hasn't scored in their last 3 trips. Coming up at the midway point, second quarter. Warrior fans stomping their feet in the bleachers. BG taking their time. Kane a crossover. Sullivan on the baseline. Up top, Santa Suazo closed out by Allen. Cardinals trying to find a weak spot. Stack goes around Morelli, but a wild shot ends up at the bottom of the backboard. Second try, Sullivan open three. It's an air ball. And finally,
Nick,
it's out of bounds.
These refs are letting these kids play.
They are.
There's going to be no complaints at the end. You know what I mean? It's a physical game, and
16 fouls each way, but all 12 have been legit fouls.
Can't argue. Yep. Absolutely.
And the rest have been, as you said, the players have been given the benefit of the doubt, it seems. Andriazzola trying to get himself going. Goes to the fade, ends up short. Loose ball off the tip. Rebound, Robichaud for the Cardinals. A good stop for BG there as we cross over the 4-minute mark. Meanwhile, action away from the ball. Baker hit the ground, and Allen is called for the push. Two of the big guys grappling for position there down low, and that is the 7th team foul against Winnacunnet, so a 1-and-1 here for Lucas Baker.
We got to get our video return cooking again, Nick, because I'd like to see that one again.
Right, right.
How about that, Ben and John?
Baker leaves it short, and O'Hara a muscle rebound for Winnacunnet.
Going to have to open up the pocketbook, I think.
Warriors looking for their first lead since early in the game. And they may get it here at the line as O'Hara draws a foul against the Cardinals and now will shoot a 1-and-1 himself.
I think he got ball, but I think he tripped him up. He got his legs wound in front of him.
And Coach Fisher looking at the floor over there, not particularly pleased.
No, everything's tight.
Foul goes against Robichaud, by the way, is first. And again, both teams in the bonus with 17 fouls. Free throw, no good. O'Hara leaves it off the back iron. Now 2 for 3 at the line. Rebound BG. Cardinals looking to extend the 1-point lead. Baker inside for Kane. Foul on the pass. Now Shockey trying to deny the entry, but Kane had the position, kept him on his back. Good call by B.J. Neverett along the baseline, and we've got another 1-and-1 here for BG as Kane, who's been the high man either way in this first half with 7. Baker now 8 points after hitting the first.
Yep. Not hurting their foul shot percentage either. I think Kane, I don't think he's missed a foul shot yet.
Kane is 3 for 3, and he's taken all of the BG free throws. I think we jinxed him.
I may have.
As that one rolls off the rim. Tracked down by O'Hara. Warrior ball coming up on 3 minutes here. First half. BG in a man-to-man. Really getting after it, challenging on the perimeter. O'Hara, though, I don't want to challenge him too quickly. Morelli gets the second try and the foul. Well, it was O'Hara who got the step. Morelli able to track down the O'Hara miss. That's his first points of this first half. And now a chance for a 3-point play with the game tied at 13. Warriors led at 1.3-2, but have trailed since. That was about midway through the first quarter. Those red, white, and blue Converse old school weapons on his feet. Misses the free throw. I used to have a pair like that. Not that color, but the high tops.
Must have been blue, right?
Just black and white.
Black and white.
The Larry Birds from the 80s, yeah.
Under 300.
Inside of 3 minutes. Elin Houston back on the floor for the Warriors with 2 fouls. Not afraid, though, to challenge on the perimeter. Winnacunnet switching everything along the 3-point line. Foul away from the floor, offensive foul. It goes against Baker down low. So that Baker-Allen clash continues. And Baker just picked up number 3, and it's going to have to sit here.
Yeah. We talked about that at keys of the game, staying out of foul trouble, Nick.
Yep.
You got to have those key players in the game.
And he's been on the sideline more often than not, unfortunately,
so far,
for BG in this first half.
He's got 3.
Likely will sit the final 2:35 here as the Warriors, again, looking for the first lead since midway through the first quarter. They have outscored BG 8-3 over the last several trips down. Houston up top wants a one-on-one with Kane, just can't get it to work. Kane stands his ground, and BG comes up with a 7th Winnacunnet turnover. Each team has shown patience on the offensive end, and each defense has been aggressive. Ellison back on the floor. Sullivan up top. Ellison one time. Sanasuazo three-pointer up and in. Able to square himself.
Can change a game.
From perhaps his favorite spot on the floor, that corner three. BG by 3, 16-13.
Well, they were clearly pressing Kane there, Nick, and it left Sanasuazo open in the corner. He's been lethal if you give him a half a second.
His second from downtown. He's got 6 points. Houston down low. Allen, the catch, no. Second try, sent back by Ellison and tracked down by Sullivan. So Allen denied near the rim. And BG now a chance to make it a 2-possession lead. Coach McKenna down on his knees, coaching the defense on the Winnacunnet sideline. And we are down to 1 minute remaining here in the first half. A low-scoring 16-13 BG lead. And now a timeout is called by Coach Fisher as the Cardinals want to draw something up here, I think, with 58 seconds to go.
Good timeout. I agree, Nick. Yeah, Sanasuazo, anytime he's open, he's taken. Anytime he's not, he's not. He's been very disciplined in that the last 2 games, Nick. And I think that's made a difference in his play and his effectiveness overall. And
well, here's one thing we talked about off air from the other night, Wednesday night, when BG eliminated Londonderry. Sanasuazo had 19 points at halftime. You take a look at the score sheet after the game, only 6 in the second half, and I use only loosely, but I think that's more of a credit than anything else because he played within the game, wasn't looking to force it. Sometimes guys get tempted when they're having a good game early to try and force it when it's not there.
You know what
right.
I mean? If they give it to him, he's going to take it.
Yep.
And it obviously increases his percentage because he's clearly an outstanding three-point shooter outside, but he's got to have room.
And he's been selective today as well in this first half.
Yep.
Has 6 points on 2 made three-pointers, but not too many misses. 2-3 zone here, Steve. We're expecting this at some point from the Warriors. Yep. It worked very well in the win over Trinity in the semifinals. Coach McKenna waiting to play this card, I think, at some point. That time is now. Kane into the lane, loose ball, and then a foul.
Yeah.
Ellison came away with the basketball and was hit along the left arm. That's the 9th Warrior team foul, so 9 team fouls each way. 33 seconds to go, another 1-1 on the way for BG is the sophomore Javari Ellison, looking to get his name in the scorer's book. The long left-hander, no problem. BG by 4. Meanwhile, Sanasuazo, Dylan, will sit here and is replaced by his younger brother, Matt. So Coach Fisher wants to get his quote-unquote star, I guess, off the floor here for the final 32 seconds of the first half. Second free throw good. Ellison a 2-for-2 trip. 4 different scorers have now scored for BG. Meanwhile, a foul deep in the backcourt. That's something Coach Fisher did not want to see.
Yeah,
a foul 90-plus feet away from the basket.
His body language just doesn't hide it. Yeah, he does not want to be going in the end of the third quarter, Nick, in a tight game in foul trouble.
Right. And O'Hara, who is a very good free throw shooter, given 2 free ones here.
Correct.
2 for 3, now 2 for 4 after that one goes in and out. Well, Dylan right back onto the floor. Sanasuazo returns after a very short rest. Replaces his classmate Robichaud.
Put me in hot, Coach. I'm ready.
A little offense-defense sub, I think, as well from Coach Fisher.
Oh,
meanwhile, O'Hara's missed 3 in a row.
Costly. Don't see that very often.
No. Now 2 for 5, and now the Cardinals, I think, are going to set up for the final shot of this first half. They've got their largest lead on the board at 18-13. Chance to stretch that just before the end of the half. Down to 10 seconds. Sullivan. Hands to Kane. Sanasuazo, three-pointer, in and out. The tip weak side is up and good by Matt Sanasuazo, and BG will end the first half on a high note. The Cardinal bench jumping around. They've opened up a 7-point advantage at the midway point, 20-13.
Yeah, it looks like Baker's arguing with the ref about one of the prior foul calls. He's really frustrated about having to sit down, but it's not going to change anything. Better off just going in there, coming out, playing a solid second half. Well, boy, that's a momentum changer right at the end there, Nick. That, looked like Winnacunnet was hanging their heads just a little bit. Looked a little fatigued, to be honest with you, like I've never seen before against any other matchup. But they'll go in. Coach McKenna was watching the defense there. He changed it up.
Yep.
Other than the foul, it looked like it did. It had some positive effect on that BG offensive zone. So hopefully they can come out with a 2-3 in the second half and have it more effective on D. But we'll see.
The last few minutes do go the Cardinals' way. Last two, I'd say.
No doubt.
As they end the first half on a 7-0 run. Broke open what was a 13-13 tie, and again now sit ahead at halftime, 20-13. The Cardinals looking for their first state championship since 2011. While Winnacunnet hoping to bring home the trophy for the first time since 1992. Well, all right, we'll come back in just a moment. Bring you some numbers from that first half and preview the second as well. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Basketball Division I Championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting in conjunction with the NFHS. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Are you on the fence about selling your home? Well, now is the time to take advantage of today's sky-high demand, low supply, and fierce buyer competition. The market is crazy right now, and bidding wars can be strenuous. Don't go at it alone. Let Lori D. Warner of Home Sweet Home, a RE/MAX company, guide you through the process. You need a trusted, licensed real estate professional in your corner. Let Lori D. fight for you. Call 603-664-9090 or email Lori, that's Lori, at djlorid.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. Halftime here in Durham. BG out in front of Winnacunnet, 20-13 here in the 2021 NHIAA Boys Division I Basketball Championship. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals here with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, broadcasting this game in conjunction, of course, with the NFHS. A low-scoring first half. Took both teams several minutes to figure each other out. BG didn't get on the board until 4 minutes had gone by. But Winnacunnet couldn't take advantage. Only one field goal in the first quarter, and it was BG who ended up with the lead after 7-5. Winnacunnet able to rally back and briefly tie the game at 13 about midway through the second quarter, but the last 7 points of the half, including a buzzer beater, belonged to the Cardinals, and again BG with their largest lead of the night, 20-13 at halftime. Cardinals led in that first half by senior Nathan Kane. 8 points, including a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. Dylan Sanasuazo, a couple of three-point balls. He's got 6 points. The big man, Lucas Baker, scoreless in that first half for the Cardinals, out often with foul trouble. Winnacunnet, they had, 4 different scorers, led by Sam Andriatola's 5 points. But not much anywhere else. Just 2 for Morelli, 2 for O'Hara, and 2 for Joe Allen. So, Steve, as both of these coaches, as good as they are, try to figure out a second-half game plan, what adjustments, if any, do we see here from either the Cardinals or the Warriors?
Well, I think in this particular situation on the Winnacunnet side, the Warriors have got to take their time in offense. BG is just really pushing defense hard. They're playing tight. You have to hold on to the basketball. You have to keep on making the pass till you find the right one to feed underneath. Maybe draw a foul, but make good decisions, make good shots, Nick. What is Winnacunnet from the line? What is their, do you have that stat?
Yeah, they're just 2 for 6.
2 for 6, and then what is
2
BG
for 7?
What is BG from the line?
3 for 4. No, 5 for 6. So 2 for 7 and 5 for 6.
You take that, you change that around.
Right.
You've got the score turns the other way. So to me, the foul line has been a really big factor in today's contest. But
you're right. I didn't even realize that. Winnacunnet only 2 for 7.
Yeah, it just adds up, Nick, in a game with 2 great teams.
Yep.
To me, that's a difference maker. That's the major one.
Underway here in the third quarter.
Houston again.
And a jump ball, the result of a good defensive play by Elin Houston, able to break up that pass, force Lucas Baker to the floor for the tie-up.
The rest of the team is going to play with that kind of energy, Nick, if they're going to stay in this with BG.
Yeah, he's been the energy guy for the Warriors all season long. Coach McKenna going to be sorry to see him go, the senior, hoping for a strong second half. Warriors trying to figure out this tough man-to-man defense. No. Won't do it here, a turnover.
They'll settle that offense down, Nick, just like Coach said. McKenna wants. Take your time. Find the opening. Don't give the ball back.
9th turnover tonight for Winnacunnet by my count. Warriors have forced just 4 for BG. As a result, Cardinals lead 20-13. They scored the last 7, dating back to late in the second quarter. Sullivan nowhere to go, Shockey all over him. Picks up the dribble, skips it. Robichaud ready near side, slices, and has the right-hand finish. Patience there, a virtue.
Patience, Nick. That's exactly what Winnacunnet has to do on the other end. BG's doing it right now.
Robichaud, his first 2. And a 9-point lead suddenly on the board for BG at 22-13. You can hear the Cardinal crowd. Morelli, they're going to wave it off.
Unconventional, but they needed it.
They're not going to count it. They're going to wave it off. The foul, they say, on the floor first.
Oh, okay.
That's got some of the Warrior fans to my right questioning things. Meanwhile, foul goes against the Cardinals. First team foul either way. It's on Baker, and I think that's number 4. It is number 4 if it's Baker. They haven't announced it yet. But Baker storming off the floor and now sitting on the sideline next to Coach Fisher. Body language
would suggest you're right, Nick.
Yep, there it is. They just put it on the board now. 4 against Baker, who has been dealing with foul issues really since the get-go. Warriors They're down 9. Points have been few and far between against this stifling Cardinal defense. Foul here as Andriazzola got into the lane. A little bit of contact, it looked like, on the elbow.
Yep.
I believe that's Ellison's third. It is. So the 6'6" shot blocker for BG in a bit of foul trouble himself. So you got Baker on the sideline with 4, his backup. Ellison with 3, and Andriazzola takes advantage at the line on the front end. Sam Andriazzola, the high man, in Thursday's semifinal win over Trinity at 21 points. Misses the second, and the ball tipped out of bounds. It'll go back to BG. So 22-14. After a 1-for-2 trip from Andriazzola, Warriors in what looks like a 1-3-1 here, and a travel is called. That's what Coach McKenna was looking for. Didn't see a whole lot of that zone full court press in the first half, but it works for the Warriors there.
You've just got number 5, Nick, moving. Alongside Lucas Shackey.
Yeah, that's Houston, number 5 in white for Winnacunnet. Hook shot,
wow.
Good off the glass. 2 big steps and a tough finish. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-possession game at 22-16. More pressure on the wing. Sinasuazo is ready on the baseline. That one in and out, no good. Andriazzola the rebound.
Coach McKenna wants him to slow it down, Nick.
BG wanted to travel there against O'Hara. Warriors looking for a 3-ball. It's Houston. Won't go, and a good box out rebound by Sullivan. BG just 2 points through the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. Kane to the lane, blocked by Shockey. That's got the Warrior fans excited. They've been loud off to my right, dressed in their red, white, and blue. And they're getting loud again here. Winnacunnet trying to slice into this 6-point lead. Foul here on Kane.
How many's that on Kane? Is that 2 or 3?
It's only his second.
Second, okay.
But the third
BG
foul.
BG needs him out of foul trouble in the game. Been a big factor for him today.
It's been the high man with 7 points. Meanwhile, Morelli off the inbound. Yes, sir. Well, that's where Winnacunnet has been good all season long, on that baseline inbound.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Fisher call a timeout if that happens one more time.
Well, there can be a lot of points to be had throughout the course of a game on that baseline entry pass.
Absolutely.
And Winnacunnet exploited it there.
Right on.
Morelli's second field goal. They're back within 4. Coming up at the midway point. Third quarter. BG, they played with the lead most of the night. Robichaud, excellent crossover. And then a blocking foul in the lane is going to go against Shockey. Wow. Well, Lucas thought he was there in time. He thought he had carved out the position, but the officials disagree. Was moving just slightly, according to the refs.
Yeah, see,
and
they're
Robichaud
right under
will
there,
shoot
Nick.
too.
We see it from here, but the refs are right in position. They see it. They're watching for him to make a slight move to adjust his position. That's probably why it was called.
Could have gone either way, in my opinion.
I agree.
Free throw for Robichaud is good.
But overall, a pretty well ref game so far, Nick. Letting these boys play.
I think it's been an excellent game. It can be tough to officiate a championship game in general. This one tipped out of bounds, and will stay at this end. Ellison battling for it, ultimately able to save the possession.
I think it did go off Houston's hands, Nick.
They lob to Ellison. Whips it across the lane, tipped, recovers, and now Sullivan looks for room along the far wing. Up top, Robichaud, tipped away. Houston the steal. Houston to the rim, hit at the iron and foul.
This kid's playing a game, Nick. Right now, it's usually O'Hara, Nick, that does this, for Winnacunnet. But today, it's Elwin Houston.
Yep. Been a difference maker in this third quarter
He's playing his heart
alone.
out.
on the defensive end. Does a little bit of everything. Has not scored today.
Well, he's got a chance now.
Free throw up and in.
Just love that passion, love that attitude in a championship game. It's my turn. I'm going to step up. You're going hard against my brothers on the team. I'm going to go for it. It's going to be me. He's doing it unselfishly.
1 for 2 trip. Loose ball, far corner. Andriatola goes into the bench. And they're going to say it's going to stay with Winnacunnet.
Oh, Coach Fisher doesn't like that, Nick.
He's stomping up and down.
I think the ref said he got pushed out, Nick. He got forced out from the back. I think that was the call. Coach Fisher doesn't like it.
Well, he was stomping so hard his glasses flew off.
Yeah.
So the Warriors end up with the basketball. They're down only 4. We hit the midway point third quarter. BG still in front 23-19, although they led by as many as 9 moments ago. Morelli able to slice through the defense.
It's a patience that Coach McKenna wanted to see coming out in the second half. Wait for the right lane, wait for the right shot, and they're doing it.
Timeout, BG.
Oh, they have to. Coach Fisher has to. He's upset at the ref.
Well, the tide has turned as well, and I think Coach knows that. Trying to quell the momentum. Winnacunnet trying to storm back here. They're on, an 8-1 run. No, a 9-1 run.
If you look
over the last 4 minutes.
I'm sorry, Nick. You look at Morelli. Morelli's getting, he's just a great player, but he's a second half player. He did it against Exeter. He did it against Portsmouth. You watch those games, you see that he gets stronger. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, he gets stronger. He's starting to get his stride down. He's looking for lanes to drive the basket. Did a great job right there. Bodied out the defense. Was able to get underneath for the layup. They're going to need him to do that to stay in with this good BG team. Good timeout call by Coach Fisher. Had to do that.
Trying to take the crowd out of it as well. There's not supposed to be any students here, at least in my understanding, but looks like there's some youngsters in the front row who have been vocal over the last couple of minutes. Meanwhile, a foul inside against Winnacunnet.
Is that on Morelli?
I think it's on Lucas Shockey. Just a second team foul, but number 4 against the senior, so he's going to have to sit, protesting the entire way back to the bench.
Yeah.
Joe Allen, who played well off the bench, returns. Inbound for Sullivan, going to pull it out. Winnacunnet wanted to travel. The officials say it was tipped. The momentum with the Warriors. BG trying to swing it back in their direction. Drive and kick. Ends up out of bounds. But I think we have an offensive foul on the pass anyway. Yep. They're going to get Dylan Sanasuazo with the offensive foul. No, Matt. They get Matt Sanasuazo with his second.
If you're running a momentum meter, Nick, I would say Winnacunnet has evened this game out. They might even be a little ahead on that meter right now. You got to give them a lot of credit for turning. They went into halftime rough shape, but anyway, they're earning their way back.
They've controlled things in this third quarter. They've outscored the Cardinals 8-3 since halftime. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Andriatola, a couple of pivot moves, nowhere to go, and then a travel up top goes against O'Hara. Shuffled the feet a little bit before putting it on the deck.
That's just great defense by BG inside the paint, Nick.
That allows the Warriors to set up the zone press with Elin Houston at the top, which has been effective. Cardinals crack it. Sanasuazo pulled it back out. Only one field goal for BG in this third quarter. Kane open off the screen. Three-pointer up and in. A clean look from straight away. Kane is the first to double figures with 10, and BG back by 5. Meanwhile, O'Hara, wraparound pass, offensive foul. Came crashing into Kane. Then the ball back to BG. So just like that, Steve, when we thought the momentum had swung, it swung back again.
I think Kane did a great job of disguising his body, Nick, there, because it looked to me like he slipped to the side a little bit, but he was so stealth with it. There's enough contact there, and he It's a great defensive play. You want to earn it. He earned it.
Cardinals having a hard time getting it in. There's O'Hara. Took it away from Ellison. Ripped it away from him on the floor. Up ahead for Houston. Spin move, double pump, foul call.
Kid's playing. He's
Great
a game
job
changer today, Nick.
Great job by O'Hara, who was shaken up back in that first half, able to play through some pain.
He still
sacrifices the body and then rips the basketball away from Javari Ellis. Starts the break with his back on the floor.
Who wouldn't want?
And then, as you mentioned, Houston has been excellent in this third quarter specifically.
Tremendous. Who wouldn't want a James O'Hara playing for you? You know what I mean?
Right. Houston capitalizes. He's 2 for 3 now at the stripe. Winnacunnet back within 4, 2:05 to go, third quarter. Another one in the hole.
Big baskets right there.
Substitution. The hard-nosed guard, William Burns, back on the floor, replacing Houston, who gets a well-deserved rest. BG will shuffle the deck as well. Ryan Stack, who played well off the bench in that first half. He returns, replaces Kane on the wing. So BG's leading scorer off the floor for now.
Well-deserved rest.
Yep. Final 2 minutes, third quarter. Just a one-possession game. BG has led most of the way. They have not trailed since the first quarter. They've led by as many as 9. Their lead just 3 here as they take their time against this 2-3 zone from Winnacunnet.
Yeah, they're trying to set up Siniswazo for a 3, Nick. Watch it.
And he's going to go to the corner. They're aware of him, though.
Yeah.
You know, the communication along the back line has been good for the Warriors in this zone. BG not going to force it, though. Coach Fisher has preached patience. Again, no shot clock, as we know, in the NHIAA. Minute 10 to go. High post. Ellison. Fouled. Reach in, it looks like, against Andrea Tola.
If you're patient, eventually you're going to draw a foul. That's what they did. Winnacunnet doing a great job. No lanes open there, Nick, to drive the basket at all. Doing a great job.
Yep.
A little too much hands, a little too aggressive.
Yeah, the reach in goes against Andrea Tola, his second, fourth team foul. And we are down to 1 minute to go in this third quarter. Warriors back to a man-to-man. Just like that. Coach McKenna switching things up on the fly. Crouching down on the catcher's position on the sideline. Robichaud around Allen. No. Ellison tried to tip it on the weak side.
BG fans, Nick, want to call. They looked out, they were over his back.
Warriors get the stop they wanted. Meanwhile, Andrea Tola picks up the dribble in the near corner. Down to 30 seconds. Pass tipped, stolen by Ellison. And now the Cardinals want to slow it down. Coach Fisher holds up one finger to indicate last shot.
Somebody's got to come help him down there, Nick, in that situation. He's boxed into the corner. No help there.
Final 10 seconds. Robichaud, quick with the left hand, had it blocked by O'Hara.
I think O'Hara's feeling better. He's playing with that sort of gravitas and presence that he normally has. I think he was a hurt player in the second quarter, and that came out second half. He's been playing a lot
agree.
better.
Final 7.5 seconds. Robichaud. Tough shot, Siniswazo. Tipped by his brother on the weak side, and a foul in the process.
Wow.
Comes with 1.7 to go.
Boy, the fouls are coming now, aren't they?
Little push. They say on the floor. BG with one more. That's, I guess, a loose ball foul.
Yeah.
That should be a 1-and-1 if it's the 7th. Or I guess loose ball, you don't go to the line. They lob it to Baker in the lane. Fade away. Won't go. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Winnacunnet. They decided they wanted to make this a game again. 26-23 is now the BG lead after 3. Fourth quarter looming. Will the Cardinals bring home the bacon for the first time in a decade? Or will it be Winnacunnet for the first time since '92? We find out the answer on the other side. Right back to Durham in a moment.
A lot at stake.
You're watching coverage of the championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in conjunction with the NFHS. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Start of the fourth quarter. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, in conjunction with the NFHS. It's been a good 2021 NHIAA Boys Basketball Division I championship game. 26-23 BG. They led by as many as 9 earlier in the second half. They have not trailed since midway through the first quarter. Sullivan sees his baseline attempt float too strong, and a rebound is taken for Winnacunnet. Warriors trying to figure out this man-to-man. Burns into the lane, takes a spill. The ball ends up with BG.
Yeah, I think up until that, I think Coach McKenna's been pretty satisfied with the, coming out with the offense that they've played, but that's kind of going back. That was not there, Nick.
No.
Slow it down. You're not on a time clock here.
Coach McKenna saw the Warriors commit 8 turnovers in the first half, only 2 in the third quarter.
Good point.
That one goes against Burns. Three-pointer, Kane. No good. Stays alive off the top of the backboard. Back out to Kane. Another 3 around the rim and out. And then Allen, a big 2-hand rebound for Winnacunnet. Up the floor quickly. Morelli behind the back. Across the lane to Allen for 2. Beautiful no-look pass. And the Warriors are back within 1. Their fans continue to stomp their feet in the stands.
Boy, we have a game here.
BG having trouble with this press. Players thought there was a whistle, I think. They froze for a moment.
I thought so. I thought I heard a whistle.
Now, a timeout has been called by BG. Coach Fisher lacing into his players there on the sideline. He's not happy.
Coach Fisher has probably watched every minute that Winnacunnet has played on film, right? He knows this team has gone against solid basketball teams and come from behind at the end, Nick. They seem to get stronger. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. They don't lose their composure. They just keep on, and when Morelli starts playing like that, things start happening.
Yep.
I think O'Hara is healed. That we're going to have ourselves 6 minutes and 41 cents of a barn burner coming down to the wire, Nick, because
well, if you want to talk about pressure cookers, it doesn't get much more tight, or much tighter rather than the preliminary round game that we broadcasted a couple of weeks ago against defending champion Exeter. That game went into overtime. It looked like at one point a grim situation for the Warriors. They fought their way through it, and they came away with a 3-point overtime win and handed Exeter their only loss this season.
Exactly. And this has that same sort of flavor to it.
Yep.
But they're playing BG tonight.
Cardinals.
The Cardinals are...
They've already won 4 tournament games of their own.
Absolutely.
So, again, looking for their first state championship since 2011. Inside, Sullivan scores. Has not looked to score too often tonight, but he gets that one over the 6'3" defender. Sullivan now with 4 points. And the lead is 3 with 2 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. BG 28, Winnacunnet 25. One-on-one, Robichaud, O'Hara into the lane, leans into the 2, won't go. Ellison rips the rebound, and he's got the big man on his back. Andriatola caught up there, gets hit with his 3rd foul. And that also puts Winnacunnet up against the team limit with 6.
For those who can't see, there's a lot of intense coaching going on the sidelines.
There sure is.
There's a back and forth element to this game that's requiring the coaches to be completely engaged. They have to change on the fly.
This 1-3-1 press has been a difference maker in the second half. BG has scored only 8 points since halftime. Elin Houston, a big reason why at the head of this 1-3-1. Warriors will retreat into a matchup man. Sanasuazo back out for Sullivan, then pulled out for Kane. Again, no shot clock. 2.5 already gone here in the fourth. BG trying to make this a 2-possession lead. Kane traveled up top. A little bit of a hop there.
Yeah, but great defense by Houston. And now, if you look, who was it out there in the end? Was it Shockey out in the end?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were just doing a terrific job. The speed, the defensive speed, confounding any kind of offensive flow that can happen by BG. The strategy, I give Coach McKenna a lot of credit for what he's come out here in the second half, Nick, because he's clearly kind of even the score here on defense. It's much more even now. Both teams are playing outstanding D.
Yeah, defense, the name of the game for BG in the first half. They held Winnacunnet to just 1 field goal in the first quarter, kept them under wraps. Really 13 points allowed for the whole first half. But Winnacunnet slowly but surely getting back into this basketball game on the defensive end. And now perhaps a chance to tie with a 3-pointer, trailing 28-25.
There's no doubt that Coach McKenna is the coach of this team, Nick. He's got his board out.
Very hands-on.
Very hands-on, down on the floor, watching the footwork and the spacing, trying to adjust to it. Look at
Houston calling for the ball and draws a foul.
Yeah, he was getting a lot of hands in there. He actually got away with it for quite a while, but as soon as he received the pass, they called the foul.
Been battling Kane down on that low block. Kane hit with his third. And again, it's 1-and-1 time for Winnacunnet. 18 fouls against BG. Houston 3 for 4, now 3 for 5 after that front-end miss.
We're going to look at the end of this game with foul shots, Nick. Could be the ultimate telling tale. We'll see.
6 for 14 collectively. Count that for Fisher. No, Sullivan. Well, 4 of his 6 have been here in the fourth quarter, Able to bank it home. He's played most of the minutes, if not all, so far for Coach Fisher. 5-point game again, and now the BG fans starting to stomp off to our left. Andriatola off balance. Houston a second try, and he's going right back to the line.
Yeah, but he gets the boards. He's always got best position in the boards, Nick. Almost every time he's in there, he's been invaluable today to keep possession, but he's got to hit these foul shots, Nick.
The senior. First of 2, no good. Meanwhile, subs on the BG side, Robichaud and Ellison out. Baker back on with 4 fouls.
Close the game out,
4:25 to go here in regulation. Second one for Houston, no good. And then a lane violation as Houston came in too early after the release. BG trying to figure out this zone press. They'll take their time and enter the front court. Now Matt Sanasuazo sees a lane and scores off the glass. And now a timeout is called by Coach McKenna. BG with the momentum and with a 7-point lead now at 32-25.
I think Coach Fisher has made some outstanding timeout calls. The last 2 that he's made have been outstanding, especially the last one, Nick. He knew what he had to do. He did it at the right time, and I think that gave them an opportunity to get rested, kind of get realigned, and then they've been gradually clawing that lead back again. But
well, again, it's been BG in control most of the way. They trailed about midway through the first quarter by a score of 3-2. And, well, 3-0, I guess, at one point, but held a 2-point lead after 1, stretched that lead to 7 at the break, led by as many as 9 back in the third quarter. But Winnacunnet, fueled on the defensive end, able to trim it to 1. They have not led, however, in this second half. And now I believe the last 6 points have gone to Bishop Guertin. So it's a game of runs, as we know. That plays out again here in the 2021 Division I Championship. The fans have been great. The limited capacity here at Oyster River High School. No student section. But we've seen plenty of 40 and 50-year-old adults act like students, stomping on the bleachers.
Well, after what these adults have been through the last year, that's the least we can expect.
That's right.
God bless them.
Inside of 4 minutes, Houston around Baker, jammed up on the shot. It's tipped and it stays. No, it goes to BG. They say Houston touched it last. He didn't like the call. It was blocked, and then on the way out of bounds, I guess Houston was the last to touch it. So BG gets a break. They handle the press, and now Warriors are going to match up at a man. Matt Sanasuazo blocked by Morelli, and then Andrea Tola is knocked down. Well, Morelli, I think he's got at least 2, maybe 3 blocks defensively. That one big there. Winnacunnet able to draw a foul, and now Andrea Tola, after landing pretty hard, is going to walk to the other end of the floor for a 2-shot double bonus here. That's 10 team fouls now against BG, something working against the Cardinals here for the final 3:27.
A very physical game.
Andrea Tola.
It's just what's at stake. They both want it.
Got 8 points, make it 9 now. Was Winnacunnet's high man at the break with 5. Matt Sanasuazo out of the Cardinal lineup. Robichaud right back on. So the starting 5 in green for BG. Andrea Tola's second won't go down. Houston offensive rebound. He's been all over the glass, as we expected. 2 possession difference at 32-26. O'Hara patient on the wing, guarded by Sanasuazo. Now tries to bring him inside, tries to shoot over him. Leaves it short. Rebound taken off the bounce by Kane. Good stop for the Cardinals. Clock continuing to move. We're inside of 3 minutes. 4th quarter. Sullivan. Robichaud open on the baseline. Decided not to shoot. No shot clock, wants to run time. Now a double team and then a foul against, is that Shockey's 5th? I think so. That may be the end for the senior.
He only knows one way to play, Nick. All out.
Been going hard. He's been frustrated at times tonight with the officials.
He's really frustrated. He pointed to his teammates, Nick, and started clapping at his teammates. That's class. That's class right there.
Going to get a hug from Coach McKenna on the sideline.
Got a great relationship with his players, you can tell.
After fouling out here.
That's class right there. As frustrated as he's been all game.
Gets a well-deserved round of applause, not just from the Winnacunnet fans either. 1-1 for Robichaud, able to cash in. Big free throw makes it a 7-point game, so a 3-possession lead now. Back on the board for BG with one more here. 2:50 to go in this 4th quarter, sorry. Second one good as well. Robichaud, 3 for 3.
Good timeout by Coach McKenna. It's now or never right now. You got an 8-point deficit. This is as much about defense as is about anything. They got to be able to
force the issue.
Got to force the issue.
With no shot clock.
That's the word I was looking for.
It's very difficult for the trailing team in the closing minutes to really gain any ground. You've got to press the issue. You've got to try and force the turnover.
We never go over 25 seconds during the whole game. And then all of a sudden, I'd like to see a shot clock myself. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
But I would.
I've been saying that for years.
And the reason why is, when do you ever see it before? You're only playing 8 minutes a quarter. I mean, you're putting 4 quarters, 8 minutes, 32 minutes on the court. Why do you let the last 4 minutes do that? Play the game.
Yeah. Well,
boy, they played it today.
34-26, final 2:50. Warriors down 8. Little token pressure. O'Hara going to break that. Robichaud, the defender. The senior goes to his left hand, spins back to his right, double screen up top, hands to Houston. Houston back to the middle, floats it far side, too high. Morelli tips it, stepped out of bounds, and the ball turned over to the Cardinals.
Big mistake.
Yeah, no, just an off-target pass.
He just kind of lost it off of his fingers and it floated.
It's a rare second-half giveaway,
but it's a very costly time. Well, now you got to dig down for D. If you Winnacunnet, BG, you got to take your time. Play keep away.
It's a full court man now as well. It's not the 1-3-1 press. Right. Into the lane, Kane. Outside Baker. In no hurry to shoot. Back to Robichaud between the circles.
BG's very good at this.
Meanwhile, he lost his footing and gets a timeout. Well, nearly a travel there by Dylan Sanasuazo.
I thought he did.
Winnacunnet certainly did as well, but
he must have called the timeout.
Said the timeout came. Not only that, but he was able to dribble the ball on his way to the floor. So he didn't land with the ball. He landed with the dribble still active,
so according to the officials.
So a good timeout by Coach Fisher. Either way, to stop the clock with 2:19 to go in this fourth quarter. His Cardinals still in front, 34-26.
Two big plays. One went against there on the throw out of bounds, and then Coach Fisher's got the heads up. You got to have the whole system working for your team. So now you got down 50. They've got possession. BG's got possession. And 2:19 to go. If they score here, it's going to make it really difficult. You're going to have to just start going to the setting up the 3 game because you're going to run out of time. But BG is so good at the weave, so good at keeping the ball away. I don't know, Nick. Do you just start? You got to start taking fouls now, right? And how many of them do you have? You got a lot of guys in foul trouble. That's another problem.
That's the question and the challenge for Coach McKenna. Yeah. BG's crowd on their feet. BG looking for an open man. Kane slips on the catch, gets it back to Sanasuazo. Morelli goes flying. Winnacunnet hoping for a call. They won't get it. BG still playing Capeaway here with 2 minutes to go. Robichaud. And now foul.
Not the guy you want to foul. Get to the line right there.
First trip to the line tonight.
But he's not the guy you want to foul, Nick.
Excellent free throw shooter.
Excellent free throw shooter. Got to strategize who you want to foul.
He's been scoreless in the second half, contained to 6 in the first half.
Yeah, but a lot of that's because they've been.
Yeah, got a beautiful shot.
Yeah, he does.
Really bends the knees.
Yes,
if you look, he gets very low with that, and that
very soft,
very
soft
challenging
delivery.
Aspect of it. I always say bend the knees, bend the knees. He does it better than anybody. 2 for 2, real quick. 8 points for the senior. The lead 10 for the first time for BG. Inside of 2 minutes, Morelli on the baseline for 2.
They'll give him the 2.
Morelli with 8. The lead 8. Full court zone press here. They're going to try and trap. BG gets to the middle. Sanasuazo gets to the hole and lays it in. Sanasuazo with 10.
Money player, Nick. If you give it to him, he's really matured as a player.
He's a very patient player. Saw his opening there.
Yeah,
meanwhool, a foul is going to put Andrew Toll to the line.
But the thing about it is if it's not there, the guy's been like ice in the veins as far as knowing what to do, not letting too much of himself into it. He's been very disciplined. He's been a real team player. But, boy, he's got a...
Meanwhile, the foul went against Ellison is 4th.
He's got a way of lifting the team at the right time.
Ellison going to come out after picking up that number 4. Kane back on. Andriatola missing at the front end. Hitting the second. Now 2 for 5 at the line, and a timeout is called. Reminder, after the game, we'll recap this championship.
No scores to go over.
No scores to go over, no.
It's that time of year.
No. Reminder, we'll be in Sanborn tomorrow for the girls basketball championship on the D1 side here on the NFHS network in conjunction with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. 38-29 here. Again, the Cardinals looking for their first championship victory since they did it back in 2011. It would be the third state championship in school history. They did it in '83 as well. Winnacunnet Well, looking to pull off perhaps one of the greatest comebacks of all time here in the final minute 25. They're not going to give up. Zone press, broken, ahead for Baker. The big man missed the layup. Allen the rebound. The Warriors get a break there. Morelli trying to get to the hole. He's hit, he banks it in, and the foul. Well, he's got excellent footwork, Steve. Covers a lot of ground with those 2 steps, and then in control of the body at the tail end of the play to draw the contact.
And always a factor in the second half, Nick, which I really like in an athlete.
You're right about that. 8 of his 10 have come since the break. Free throw, no good. Falls his own miss. Morelli to the hole, right hand, no. Kept alive by Houston in the corner. Throws it off the leg of Robichaud. The officials are going to talk about it. Houston pleading his case.
Got it. Yeah, he's got it.
And Houston is right. The Warriors will keep it with a minute 7, down 7. 38-31. Quick lob. Morelli, left side, spins to his right. Tied up by Sullivan, jump ball. Good job by Sullivan, the second defender in the area, able to reach in and force the jump ball.
He forced that out pass a little early, Nick. Didn't even let the block spread out at all.
They knew where he was going with it, didn't he?
Yeah, sure did.
He wanted Morelli, who's been the hot hand.
That is a good point.
He wanted him to have it. And they go right back to him here. Now O'Hara, catch fire, 3-pointer, no, tipped twice, loose, far side. Andriatola then draws a foul against Baker, and that's number 5 against the BG big man. It comes with 56 seconds to go. Tough night for Baker. Never quite able to stay on the floor, dealing with the foul trouble. Fouls out scoreless here and ends his career with 56 seconds to go. Meanwhile, Winnacunnet, still some light at the end of the tunnel. Down 7. 56 seconds. Andriatola hits the free throw. 3 for 6 at the line, 11 points at team high.
Got to foul. If they're going to foul, they got to foul the right person, Nick, here, if they can. Had to have both of those 2.
It's a 5-point game. 5 unanswered by Winnacunnet.
Why don't you just foul them?
Robichaud spinning through traffic into the front court. Sanasuazo lost his footing. Loose ball.
Houston
Warriors
again
with the steal. Slipping and sliding. Now Morelli in the front court loses his footing. Robichaud ties him up. And a jump ball is called.
Wow, that's a lot of contact there, Nick. The Winnacunnet fans are irate right now.
They are.
I understand where they're coming from. That was a lot of contact, Nick.
Coach McKenna was trying to call a timeout from the sidelines. Nobody saw him. A lot of time went off the clock as well. 18 seconds just went by. We're down to 38, and now a foul here on the catch deep in the backcourt is going to send Kane to the line for a 1-and-1.
They had no choice. They had to foul him. Not
still a 1-and-1.
But still a 1-on-1.
Still a 1-on-1.
Yep.
That was team foul number 9. The next will be a double bonus.
Yep.
So I think the Warriors make the right move there. The quick foul.
5 points, 37 seconds. Wow.
Kane, 11 points. Team high today for BG. Free throw is short. Rebound Winnacunnet. They're down 5. Tick, 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 tick. Coming up on 30 seconds. Morelli. Catch. 3-pointer. In and out. Rebound Sullivan for BG. He's trying to dribble out of the ground on his own baseline. Far corner Robichaud turns up the sideline, throws it down the floor, and this one is blocked, and they say goaltend. Wow.
That was above the rim?
They say it touched the backboard first. Once it touches the backboard, you cannot.
I would say that was a good call.
But how about the effort by O'Hara, able to streak from seemingly out of nowhere to at least challenge that one. Almost a spectacular block. Instead, it's a goaltend. It'll count for BG to, increase their lead to 40-33 now with inside of 19 seconds to go.
It's really mathematically difficult, Nick. I mean, you've almost got to nail the inbound, get a 3, and then they got to miss this. You know, it's a tough one. But I got to tell you, O'Hara, he's the kind of guy that, boy, if you were going to draft people, you'd want to draft a guy like that and then build a team around him. The relationship there's watching between these players on both teams, I was just watching in specific O'Hara and Morelli. the closest in the dual leadership in which they demonstrate on the court is really impressive.
Yep.
Same with BG. The relationship between, you watch Kane and Sullivan work together. They're just well-coached teams, and they're good people.
Two teams led by the senior class,
and
which is fitting they meet here in the championship.
Absolutely.
Last-ditched effort for Winnacunnet. Down 7, 15 seconds. Morelli behind the back. Lost the dribble. Bodies on the floor. Timeout BG. It was Sullivan who came away with the loose ball. Coach Fisher gets the timeout from the sideline. 12 seconds even now remain. And unfortunately for Warrior fans, this looks like it's going to be another season in which Winnacunnet comes up short in the championship game. They won the state title in 1992, then lost 3 straight in the championship in the 90s, 95, 96, 97. Lost in 2000 to Manchester Central and then fell to Pinkerton in 2010. And despite their best efforts today, are on the wrong end right now of a 40-33 score with 12 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Warriors aren't going to quit, though. BG is going to throw a long pass. Robichaud tips it ahead to Ellison, who throws it down with 2 hands. That's got the bench jumping around, and that's the cherry on the championship Sunday. O'Hara goes to the hole. It's not going to matter. BG, a 42-35 championship win. The Cardinals celebrate in Jubilee at midcourt. 5 postseason victories to go with 14 more in the regular season. A team to remember as they capture their 3rd championship in school history.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, Nick. You're just seeing it on demonstration. But the one common theme between these two teams is the heart. The heart and the way they feel about their teammates and about their town. And that's why it is the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And that's why the game's played. But I'll tell you, that's a class outfit that Coach McKenna has put together there. And after a while, you get over it, you get past it. But that team deserves a lot of credit. But this BG team, just energy from the time they came on the court to the time they never, ever stopped. Both teams didn't really, Nick. There's a lot of things you can talk about this game. You can say, oh, they did a little better in this, a little bit. But the clear differentiation this game was from the line. If you go back in the stats and you see that the game flips, if the if the foul line situation changes, I do give BG a little edge beyond that. It's not that, but that's a big factor in this game today.
All right, we'll
BG Cardinals deserve the win today.
Absolutely.
They deserve the win.
And we'll come back and talk about it in just a moment. Trophy presentation about to begin. We'll take a quick break, bring you right back to Durham, where the BG Cardinals are now the 2021 NHIAA Division I champions. Back in a moment. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. Are you on the fence about selling your home? Well, now is the time to take advantage of today's sky-high demand, low supply, and fierce buyer competition. The market is crazy right now, and bidding wars can be strenuous. Don't go at it alone. Let Lori D. Warner of Home Sweet Home, a RE/MAX company, guide you through the process. You need a trusted, licensed real estate professional in your corner. Let Lori D. fight for you. Call 603-664-9090 or email Lori, that's Lori, at djlorid.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today. NHIAA Boys Basketball Division I champions, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. Strong regular season, and then a 5-win postseason tournament. Well-deserved for sure as this group hung together, fought off Winnacunnet's second half push, and closed things down in the closing minutes to capture their third third championship in school history.
Yeah, we were talking during the break, Nick. To me, the big overarching issue is the percentages from the line. I think that is the deciding factor in the game for the most part. I'll throw in another thing. I think BG's bench was superb today. I mean, when you look at the depth that they had, and it was almost when they did but there was no drop whatsoever. And I wouldn't say Winnacunnet was far behind, but I give BG's the edge. We had said earlier, they deserve the championship. But both of these teams are outstanding basketball teams that show a lot of class. Extremely well coached. To Coach McKenna, he's put together a great team. Coach Fisher, boy, during the break, he was hugging his ball players. It was just a great sigh of relief, I think. And now they get the benefit of the pictures and the championship ball, and think of all the work that's gone into it this year, Nick.
A lot of emotion both ways on the sideline for sure. As Winnacunnet, you can tell, slumped shoulders, cast eyes after receiving their runner-up plaque off air a moment ago.
You know, they've come from behind all season, Nick, and they put in a heck of a job. I think the key point in the game in the second half there was when BG called a timeout, and it just seemed that momentum they had once they came back out seemed to dissipate a little bit, and then BG slowly but surely clawed their way back and took the game away.
Final numbers for you. BG, balanced attack in the win. 6 different scores, led by Dylan Sanasuazo, the senior, with 12 points, 10 on the other side for Nate Kane.
Coach wants to come on again, should I get him?
Sure. I'm going to see what we can do here to hook up a post-game interview. Well, again, Sanasuazo 12, Kane 10. Those were the two in double figures for the Cardinals. Sanasuazo 6 in each half, 6 in the fourth quarter. Robichaud played well on both ends tonight. Jordan, the senior, ends up with 5 points. Javari Ellison off the bench with 6, and we'll get to Winnacunnet's final tallies in a moment. But Chris Cameron comes his way out of the chaos to join us here on Press Row. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, where do you want to start? Defensively in that first half seemed like the storyline, and then down the stretch, your guys found a way to win and hold off Winnacunnet. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, so as we talked in the pregame, playing defense was our staple. I mean, I didn't think we could hold them below 40. I was hoping to keep them at about 48, 50 range and win that game, but we were able to force them to turn it over a lot, and that was key. As expected early on, 2013 half, I think we had nerves, but they had nerves too. They didn't have a matchup that we had to rotate to. So the big matchup, I think, is because he's my guy, is John Sullivan playing defense on 24 Morelli. That was key. He was able to take him out of the game. He was able to contain Harris at North and then Cox. And so that was key, was defensively. And we forced them to kind of play a little bit faster than they wanted, and that created some and we were great also on the defensive glass. I mean, until the end, they started getting offensive rebounds at the very end, but on the defensive glass, we were great.
Coach Fisher kind of asked last minute, right, originally, to come and take the job a couple of years ago. You guys were in search of a coach. He says, okay, I'm in. I want my man Chris Cameron with me on the sideline. And now you're state champions, less than 3 years later, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here, because John, for years for me on the lacrosse side, whether I needed a JV coach, a freshman coach, a volunteer varsity coach, he was there. So when Coach Regan, who did it, I mean, he deserves a shout out here because he did a great job developing these guys. Championships aren't won in 1 year.
Right.
I mean, you got to develop these players. You got to get a culture in there, and I think we had the beginning of that. So I said to John, if you need help, when a coach has to take over 2 weeks before the season, it's tough.
Right.
But it's Coach Fisher. Coach Horn is an outstanding coach who's going to be a great head coach somewhere in the state. He's the JV head coach, but he's the assistant, Dylan Mullen, Tim Lund. So it's a great staff. The kids work hard for us. And it was and they competed. That was the biggest thing is they just didn't know how to compete. And we saw it a little bit more and more each game. And we just came out and grinded out defensively. I mean, that's a great – Winnacunnet is a great team with a lot of great individuals, but they play well as a team. I mean, that was – their basketball IQ I thought was going to be – we had to match that. And I thought we played a pretty smart game. We got a little bit helter-skelter at the end with their 1-3-1 gave us troubles. Their 1-3-1 was a problem for us all day. I'm surprised we didn't see more of it. They did a great job going in and out of defenses on us.
Well, Coach, enjoy the win. Celebrate tonight. Then I'm sure you'll have these guys with sticks in their hands before you know it.
Cross season 2 weeks. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
And again, Chris Cameron, assistant coach under John Fisher, head coach, of course, of the boys lacrosse in the springtime. Again, an impressive victory. 42-35, the final numbers for Winnacunnet. In the end, Sam Andriatola was the high man with 12 points. Brett Morelli scored 8 of his 10 in the second half. James O'Hara, floor general, winds up with 4. Elin Houston with 3, all coming from the free throw line. Steve, your final thoughts on not just what we saw here tonight, but really in the 2021 season as a whole.
It's everything can go off the rails, or people can get just out there working hard and make it happen. And I give a lot of credit to the NHIAA, and the ADs, coaching staffs, teams, parents, all coming together. It's a proud. Makes you proud to be a resident of New Hampshire and to see how, from top to bottom, we were able to get this thing off the ground and get the whole season. And where it really ends is in the rest of the lives of these young men and these young ladies that will play tomorrow, in Sunday's game, that they were able to have this experience, and it won't be taken from the rest of their lives. And,
right.
We try to do the healthy thing and make sure that we're doing the extra things. Our mental health and our lives
are important.
Are enriched and are important as well. And I think that the whole group around the basketball season has done, and other sports as well, has done a fantastic job getting this. And the parents and their families are getting, and their grandparents at home. And it's just been a joy throughout the year, Nick, to watch you narrate these games. And, my family watches the games. We don't even have a kid playing. And it's just, it's a great thing to see. I feel bad for Winnacunnet because they were one of those teams like BG you just love to see to get to the finish line. But it was BG's day today.
Yeah.
And in the inside parts of the game, my opinion is they did what they need to do to win, and that's why they did. You know what I mean? It's just did you do the foul shot?
Final free throw numbers, to your point, BG 9 of 11, Winnacunnet 9 of 21. There it is.
There you go.
All right. Want to thank a few people on our way out the door. First of all, our friends on the business side over at the NFHS, Don Boyle.
Yeah, he's been great.
Doing his thing. We appreciate that partnership and look forward to working with him in the future moving forward between Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and the NFHS. We'll be on the air again tomorrow as a reminder for the Girls Division I Basketball Championship. And the folks running things on the ground here at Oyster River deserve a big thank you as well. Andrew Lathrop, the athletic director, and his point man, Rob Quiglieri, the assistant.
He has been phenomenal.
AD has been absolutely phenomenal here throughout the week.
He's out there mopping the court before the game.
Right.
I mean, he does it all. He's running around everything. Rob, thank you very much personally for making it so easy for John and I and Nick to come here and do this game. I don't know what you're getting paid, but
it's not enough.
It's not enough. You've just been a terrific guy to work with. Thank you.
How about John himself, John Barron, our chief videographer, working hard behind the scenes.
We got 30 seconds.
And a big addition to our team, as well as producer Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios, the man behind the curtain.
Working hours late at night and early morning and last minute today. Great job.
That's right. And, of course, the executive producer at Friday Night Lights Lancers, Steve Beals. So, Steve, we appreciate you as well. My name is Nick Anastas.
No.
So long.
No, and we appreciate Nick Anastas, right, John? Phenomenal broadcasting, Nick. You're the best in the business. We're proud to have you as a partner, as my partner.